you've heard that the market is crazy and it's really hard to secure a house. And you know what? You're right. It is really hard to get a house if you're bidding, especially if it's multiple offers, which many of them are right now. They're going to sell above asking price. So I want to give you a couple of tips that we've used, that we've been effective in helping our buyers find the homes that they want and get them under contract. So first thing is, you really need to have a strategy session with a buyer agent. That is, I wouldn't work with an agent that doesn't do more than about 18 to 24 deals a year, because you need someone that's really well versed in this market. So that's number one, is get a good agent and get a strategy session on the books so you know exactly what to expect and how to prepare. So that's point one. Good agent, strategy session. Point two, get your finances and all your ducks in a row in regards to finances. You need to have proof of funds of cash on hand. You need to have, in addition to having a pre-approval, and a pre-approval is not a pre-qualification. As a listing agent, I get offers all the time, and if it comes through with a pre-qualification, that means that that lender didn't actually check the credit. They didn't actually verify income, employment, and assets. So I don't even I will take a second look at it, and if it's a really good offer, ask that they go get a pre-approval letter, but that lengthens the amount of time, and time is no friend of winning a negotiation if it's a multiple offer situation. So you want to have everything crafted and done up front. So a pre-approval letter, and the best pre-approval letters actually say, hey, we pulled credit. Hey, we verified income. Hey, we verified assets. So you want a pre-approval letter like that. If you need a recommendation for a good lender, please let me know. So, good agent, strategy session. Ducks in a row financially. Oh, I mentioned the proof of funds. You need to show that you have cash on hand to address a couple of different issues, which I'll hit in a second. One of them is the appraisal gap. So, those are the first two things. Number three, you need to be ready that when the house that meets some, if not most, of your criteria hits, you need to be able to go in aggressive. And what do I mean by aggressive? Right now, you don't need to think about it as a list price or an asking price. You need to think about it more like an auction. It's actually the starting price. And if you want to be taken seriously, you need to go in with an offer that's above asking price for the majority of properties right now. There are some situations in which that's not completely necessary, but 90% plus right now, you need to go in above asking price. One. Two, no contingencies is better than some contingencies, and then short contingencies is another option as well. So contingencies, what are these? Appraisal, financing, inspections. Well, if you have to finance, it's going to have a financing contingency. That's why you want to have that really good pre-approval letter. If you're able and you have cash on hand to waive appraisal, and what that means is if the property doesn't appraise for the price that you and the seller agreed upon, that you're able to come up with the difference, you want to just waive appraisal. Because most of the houses that I've sold in the last 6 months, our average right now is 107% of asking price this year. 107% of asking price. So on average, our houses are selling for 7% more than the starting price or asking price. However, I know in most of those situations that when it goes to appraisal, those properties are not going to appraise for the price that we have it under contract for. So the winning offer in most cases is willing to waive appraisal or do something called an appraisal gap. And what that means is that they're willing to pay X amount over the appraisal if it comes in low to make sure that they can get the house. The best is waive the appraisal, that it doesn't even matter no matter what it comes in as. Second best is an appraisal gap. And again, depending on the amount that you've gone over the starting price, that appraisal gap should cover as much of that as possible, but some is better than none. And you definitely want, and then obviously having an appraisal gap that covers the whole difference between starting price and the contract price, that's even better. So hopefully that makes sense. This appraisal gap thing is really big. Inspections. Some people still get inspections depending on, you'll have some sellers say, I got $50,000 more for the house. I'm not really worried about anything coming up in inspection, so they're willing to do something and let the inspection clause stay in there. Other people, they just want to see it as is. So again, this comes down to what you're comfortable with, but in this market, it's not so much about getting the perfect house as it is about getting a house. So those are some tips. There's some other stuff that we do that's pretty creative that that helps our clients win. And if you'd like to hear more about those things, please contact me and we can get you in touch with one of our agents, and they can, if necessary, and you're buying a house, book a strategy session with you to talk through some of those things. But there's some other creative moves that can be made to make offers even more attractive to sellers. So, recap: good agent strategy session. 2, get your ducks in a row. 3, aggressive offer when your house hits. An aggressive offer, one of the things we talked about is taking out any contingencies, inspection-wise and or appraisal-wise, and obviously if you can pay with cash, that takes out the financing contingency. That's all I got for now. If you have more questions, you need anything else from me, please email me at haro@theharogroup.com or call me 864-354-9515. Thank you for tuning in.